In the previous episode, we discussed the early days of the Carletons and the creation of Fort Quito. In this episode, we head south down the coastline to meet the Mungi people and the actions that would form one of the most impactful nations of the game. A nation that was subjugated time and again, but always managed to return. The Mungi are one of the most unusual races in Inkunzi, being a race of humanoid mushroom people. A very religious people. One of the first things that occurred after the awakening was a meeting of all the Mungi people in Mio to celebrate their ancestors. Despite all four Mungi tribes participating in this festival, the leaders of Io still had suspicions of heresy, and sent spies disguised as traitors to Spol, trying to see if they worshipped false gods. The spies didn't find any evidence, but the suspicions still remained. Due to this, Io raised the Mycelium Marauders, a force of 10,000. While not practicing any false religions, intrigue was afoot. Spol had sent diplomats to Spem with an offer, the carving up of Mio. The diplomats argued that Mio was richer and more powerful than either of them, but together they could succeed and split the island in half. They planned on invading the island from both sides, dividing any defenders between them and overcoming them with their coordination. Othsen, the leader of Spol, upon receiving confirmation of this alliance, started to prepare in raising the grand army of Spol of 3,500, with Spem fielding a similarly sized force. Hearing rumors of large-scale preparations occurring all along the coastline, Mio started to conscript some 10,000 warriors into the Protectors of the Holy Land, declaring that the leaders of Spol and Spem wanted to desecrate their lands, claiming they followed Buckley, the devil figure of their religion. It was during this time of tension that a particular man from Mataram would land upon the shores of Mio. The warriors, already on edge, would question him harshly, and when he started to flee, would set upon the interlopers, killing many. Additionally, Mio sent a plea to those of Io requesting aid, and an alliance was formed. Upon hearing this, Othsen called off the invasion, deciding to focus on internal development, and instead ponder what to do about this new alliance. Well, he wouldn't have to wait long, as Mio wasn't going to let this attempted invasion go unanswered, starting to send over their warriors to burn down the heretics' homeland. Receiving the notice of war from Mio, Io formally declared war on Spol, sending their marauders east. Othsen, upon hearing this counter-invasion, declared, "My people, those most barbaric people of Mio, the worshippers of the dead god Durlum, are now at war with us. But we shall not waver. We will claim the Holy Land and destroy their temples to a god that no longer exists. We will show no mercy." Increasing the size of the Grand Army of Spol to 15,000 and calling upon Spem to counter this invasion. However, Spem was angry at the invasion being abandoned and wanted to see if Spol could win a battle before joining it, so Spol marched west alone. Coming upon the combined forces of Mio and Io marching, they ascended with the force of 1,000 suns, sending the allied forces packing. However, despite achieving an initial victory, the constant flood of reinforcements meant that they were unable to continue advancing. With no progress being made, and with the distinct impression of being abandoned by their ally, the forces of Spol surrendered, with Io quickly moving to annex the entirety of their lands. In the aftermath of this war, Mio called for a meeting of Io and Spem to discuss the future of the Mungi. Mio would call for a unification of all Mungi people. However, Spem hadn't forgotten the past, and the recent missionaries spreading some Confucianism in Io and Mio caused them to deny any such union. Despite this, Io and Mio would unite to form the Agari Omu Ilium, a name that would spark great emotions in the nations of the future.